Evening everyone, what is the crack? Welcome back, or I guess you guys saying welcome back to me. Haven't streamed in over a week now. My last video was the drift video. I said because I was going to do this anyway, I do this every Saturday night. I'm going to do practice for my upcoming races on Tuesday and on Thursday. And a lot of people often ask me, well, what actually goes into it? How do you actually do the track guide? Hey French fries, what's the story? How do you actually go and do the track guide? And so this is, I've never driven this track before. I have driven this car, obviously. Hey French fries, what's the crack? I haven't driven this track before, so we're going to learn the track together. I'm going to show you how I do the setup. This is just the default setup right now, and yeah, hopefully we're going to try and break into. So basically, the track is Hope racetrack here. So March 10th is our race. That's Tuesday and 12th. So Hope racetrack. I've never driven it in my life, so that should be interesting. And if we look at the live timings, some people will have already done laps. So you see Brad here has 1:11, so it's a nice quick lap. 1:11 is exceptionally quick. Nice one, Brad. And you've got 1:12s here, 1:13s, 1:14s. So usually when I attack a track guide like this, I want to be in like the top 5, unless it's a very good lap and the standard is really good. I'll sometimes take one that's not a top 5 time, but if I don't get into the top 5, I tend not to actually publish a track guide, because if everybody else is faster than me, then who am I to give people advice? So we're aiming for Chris Bourne, Roberto Santoro, Dennis Hospers, my teammate, Justin Wellbeloved, and Brad O'Neens. So should be interesting. You can see how many laps they've done here. So some of them have done very few laps. I'll probably do the bones of 25-30 laps tonight. So let's see how we get on. Let's see how we get started anyway. And let's start learning the track, because I've never driven the track. If any of you know the track and have advice, it will speed me up if you help me along. I'm just going to turn up my in-game sound, because I noticed that my 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 engine noise and stuff isn't that loud. Audio, here we go. Where are you, audio? Yeah, you can see my engine is only at 2, so yeah, you can hear it a bit better now. Alright, let's get rid of that. So you can see the track here on the left hand side. Let me put it over the tarmac so you guys can kind of learn it with me. But that's kind of what I look at while I'm going around the track. My first couple of laps are always, really kind of conservative, especially in a car like this, which reacts really quickly. This looks like a high-speed corner and into a braking zone. You can see the markers on the left. If any of you have seen my track guides, you see I pay a lot of attention to the markers at the side of the track. This looks like another quick corner and another quick corner. Again, this is the default setup, default fuel. Nice tight corner here. This would be an amazing drift track, I think. Well, there's going to be some amazing racing here. Tight corners, tight cutbacks. Another really tight one. What pedals would I recommend for about 250 quid? You can't go. Oh, the session just changed. Hey Jordan, what's the crack? It's bumpy track. Yeah, you should hop on, Damien, if you're around. But what pedals would I recommend for about 250 quid? You can't really go far wrong with the CSL Elites with load cell. I think they're around that price mark. If you can wait 10 months, I highly recommend the Field VR pedals. I haven't tried the new Thrustmaster pedals. They look really, really good too, though. So I'd love to do a comparison of the new Thrustmaster with the CSL Elites with the load cell. I'd say that'd be very interesting. And it looks like the CSL or the TLC, what are they called again? The Thrustmaster ones. It looks like they're actually shipping and stuff. So they'd be worth a punt. I think if you get your hands on them, you'll be able to sell them second hand quite easily anyway. Alright, let's go at this again. So this is like almost, I guess, pretty much flat out here. Gonna just slow down here. Loads of bumps, so it looks like we're going to be making some suspension changes as well. Markers on the left again. I'm going to just be conservative, go for the 100 and take a nice late apex here. Grab a little bit of that curb. Pretty fast through here. You guys can see I'm not going anywhere near the red line. Loads and loads of bumps. I try to avoid second gear in this car because it'll just have too much power. Yeah, I can already feel even when I'm driving conservatively like this, I can feel the bumps causing some havoc. DRS zone, but we've DRS disabled. This looks like another quick section. I'm going to back off though because I've not driven it before. So you can see I'm constantly looking at this map on at the bottom left. A nice big hairpin here. It tightens and then opens up. So this is where we should be able to... Not sure if we can adjust the gearing on this car. But this is where we want to make sure that our gear ratios are okay. I don't know if this is a flat... Oh yeah, this is a flat out section. Gearing seems pretty okay. Whoa, that is scary. So my first lap was a 158. So it should be quite easy to get into the 120s, I'd say. In the VRA server. Cool. If anybody has driven this track, feel free to shout advice. Even if it's setup advice or whatever. So here we're going to high speed section again. I'm still going to back off slightly. Oh, that's nice. And then slow down for this corner. And pretty late apex. Alright, so that's already a 118. That does put me 15 to 15. Let me just pull in this here so you guys can see when I do set a personal best or what my fastest time so far is. Ooh. Moment. Seems like a pretty nicely flowing track. How does the wheel feel with the car? This wheel feels great. This is the TSPC Racer though. I'm not driving with the Simetik. My Simetik is being... I'm getting the Simetik Alpha. That's being shipped to me this week actually. So I hope to have it. Maybe even before the end of the week. Who knows? But as for the TSPC Racer, I have a settings video with these settings that I'm using right now for anybody interested. And it does feel amazing. In my opinion, it's the... Oh, that's a bit too wide. It's the best non-direct drive wheel. It is damn bumpy. So it's going to be a good 20 minutes or so before we start challenging those top times. Again, I've no setup changes or anything done. Wow, that's so sketchy coming around there. A little bit more aggressive now. PC is struggling a tiny bit with the streaming and all that. Yeah, this week is going to be a lot of fun because I'm expecting a new... Oh, that's a bit sketchy. Oh my god, my god, my god. Oh, just about kept it clean there, because I'm expecting my cube controls rim to arrive in the coming, well, I don't know, I haven't gotten any delivery notification yet. That's a 114, that's put me 14 to 15. Again, bear in mind I'm on a default setup. I always do laps on a default setup first, just to get a feel for the car. Oh, I need to do better in that corner. I think I need to brake slightly earlier, get a good apex out of it. Similar corner there again, and this would be amazing to drift. I just want to hop in a drift car. I need to treat that like one corner, go nice and wide. So luckily this week it's a relatively easy track. There's going to be amazing racing this week for sure. So even there with several mistakes. Oh, this looks to be a quali session. I'm not sure. But even with plenty of mistakes, you can see I'm consistent enough on that 114 mark. There we go, that's a better exit. Flat, 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 flat. Oh, I knew the curves had upset me there. Alright. Full aero. Slow on the straight. Alright, that's good advice, Dennis. Let's go. And, well, one of the first things I'm going to do is turn on camber extravaganza, get my camber sorted. So I'll explain how that works as we go along. What else? Oh yeah, that looks to be quali session. Hey Bram, what's the crack? I think it's going to put me into race mode now. Yeah, next session race. Let me... go back to practice. There we go. Right. So now that I kind of know the track a little bit, what I'm going to do, the main things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at the camber and I'm going to be looking at the tire pressures here. One thing I just want to check as well is if you can change the gear ratios in this car. You can't. So that's fine. I'm going to be changing the tire pressure. You can't change the compound. My aero is on 7.6 right now. I'm going to leave it as is, see how that goes. Front aero pulls the nose in more, but that also can lead to oversteer, especially when exiting a corner. And rear wing tries to keep the back straight, I guess, reduces that oversteer, but it also creates drag. So need to be a little bit careful there. And as for the drivetrain stuff, all that, I think I will be changing it a little bit. Maybe make it handle those bumps a little bit better, but I didn't see in my couple of laps there if there was anywhere where the bumps were really throwing me. So I was going over those bumps, but I wasn't like losing traction and stuff. Maybe when I try to find those extra couple of seconds, because I'm 3 seconds off the fastest lap right now, maybe then I will make those changes. So I'm just gonna save this setup and let's go. Big difference in aero on the top 5, yeah, it could be. So I'm not like I could go with like one of my old setups or whatever. But what track am I on? I'm on Hope Racetrack, Emlyn. It's I don't even know where it is, to be honest. That camber extravaganza absolutely kills FPS. But you can see as I go around corners, my tires are staying blue. So what that usually means, and I'll wait for my tires to heat up a bit, but the tires in camber extravaganza are blue. What that usually means is I have too much negative camber. So I need some positive camber, and there you can see even when I give them a bit of abuse, oh, on the curbs they are, nice. Alright, let's just keep going. Pre-season testing. We're allowed to do damage. So I know that's damaged my aero there, but for camber, shouldn't really make a big difference. I should be able to make a decent amount of changes here. I can feel the bumps now. Maybe that is because of my front aero. Alright, I'm going to go straight to the pits and change my camber a bit. Alignment. So I usually drop it way down just as a start. Let's go to 1.7 and let's drop this to like 1.5. And let's see what happens. Leave the toe as it is. Hey Twitch viewer, give an old comment there. I'm trying to get my Twitch stats up. Or invite some of your Twitch mates. So as we go around the corners now, you can see that on Camber Extravaganza, the tires are oh, that's just me not paying attention. The tires are getting a lot more green. What that actually represents is if you get a perfectly green tire, that means you have an optimum contact patch. So that's why I'm changing those camber settings. So you can even see as I'm going around these corners, there are like flashes of green there. It should highlight here in this corner because you're putting a bit of load on the left-hand tires. That's actually what I was looking at and why I went off. So you can see the inside right. The inside tire seems to be getting a good amount of grip, but as I got more grip there, you can see that it's kind of upsetting the car a little bit as well. I didn't have that issue when I was on the default setup, so it kind of flung me there. And I know I'm being careless with the car here, but it is just a simulator. I don't really care. I want to learn as quickly as possible. In real life, you wouldn't take these risks. Brad does 262 kilometers per hour and Chris only 252. Wow, that's a big difference. So my front tires actually look pretty decent from a contact patch point of view. Let's see around this corner. In the inside tire is doing a lot of work, and on the exit, the outside front tire is doing a good bit of work. So my tires are getting up to good temperature. You can see in the top right. So I still need to work on my rears, but my fronts look pretty good. Oh, moment. Very understeery now. Kind of don't mind an understeery setup, but what you'll also notice as well there is on Sidekick, so on the middle of the screen here, my tire pressures aren't right. My front left is okay, but I need plus 1.4 psi in my front right and minus 1.3 on the rear left. So we'll see how fast that lap was. Don't think it was particularly fast. 115. So let's go make those changes because it's close to 1 psi. It was the it was the front right, rear left, and because it was close to 1 psi, I'm only going to do 1. And on the alignment side, I'm going to lower the rears even more. Let's go for 1.1. and see how that reflects in camber extravaganza. Yeah, you should try it, Bram. Low camber works quite well, even though it's a little bit understeery, because the higher camber tends to bite nicer on turn in. But I tend to compensate for that with high aero, and right now I'm on default aero, which is like 6.3 or no 6.5 or 6.76 or something like that. Oh, moment. I'll almost definitely be going for higher camber, or sorry, higher aero. So you can see my rears now, especially the outside one, gets good and green. That's a better line. Still need to practice that line though. Wait a lap for my tires to get up to pressures. Oh yeah, I've got way more grip here now. Probably wasn't the best line, but did show how much grip I had. And I'm still on default fuel as well. Whoa! Big moment there. So that confirms that I'm going to go slightly higher on my aero. Nice and wide. Cut back here. Oh, definitely need to go higher on my aero. Alright, we'll give it another lap on this. Getting rid of the understeer. Yeah, I've been doing okay with an understeer enough setup though. Now that said, it just could be a failing in the way I set up cars. So this is actually going to be a PB. But my PB isn't that impressive so far. It's my first 114 though. And I am starting to think that, oh my god, you really need to stay right there. Alright, let's up the aero. I'm happy enough with my camber, so I'm going to get rid of camber extravaganza until I need it again. I'm just going to up this to actually let's just go full and see if we can drop it at some stage and keep the tires up there. Let's save the setup. This car does pretty okay on full aero anyway. Want to get into the top 10 on race fuel for sure, and only when I'm kind of happy with my laps and starting to hit a peak or starting to hit a wall with it, that's when I really want to start dropping my fuel and all that, because I'm going to be racing on a similar setup to this for the actual race, because I'm going to have fuel in the car, right? So you're not going to be on your qualifying setup all the time. Oh yeah, this feels pretty planted now. I do need to ride those bumps a bit better. This corner is kind of getting me a bit. Can't go too wide, and it's a bit far to treat like one corner. On my next lap I'll see how much grip I have in that corner, because this is only my out lap. Alright, can take a good bit of curb with a high aero setup. Now let's see if we get over that 252 kilometers an hour Chris is doing on this straight. I was getting up to 260. Here, 251, 2, 3, 4, 254 kilometers an hour. So we don't quite have that top speed because we're running very high aero. Oh, that was a poor line. But you can see my delta is loving it through there. Car's dancing a bit. Oh, need to really get on the gas earlier in that corner. But somehow I found almost 2 seconds here. So that's good. How's it going, Dennis? Oh, the understeer. Alright, let's see if this puts us into the top 10. 10th of 15. You can see that on the right hand side of the screen there. So stay in tight to the right here. Hard on the brakes. Oh, too early. No, half a second down. Ireland, lots of tectonic activity. You should come in and practice, gamer muscle. The earthquake. I need to adjust. I haven't touched my suspension settings yet. So far, sitting in P10. Everybody, say hello to Gamer Muscle. Subscribe to him and all that stuff. A far superior YouTuber to me. Whoa. Oh, my real life cam, yeah. Because that's like on one of those cheap Amazon arms. And it's bolted to one of my side screens. And my whole rig is on caster wheels, which gives it a bit of wobbliness. Oh, damn you. Alright. Definitely need... Back in the 1920s. We'll get there eventually. I'll eventually have time that doesn't involve watching kids go to the toilet. That sounds bad. Watching my own kids go to the toilet. They like an audience. We've got Sebring next weekend. You guys doing Sebring? There we go, that's a better line. Where am I going to find a second and a half though? Not a bad exit. Almost half a second found there. Damn. This is Hope Racetrack. It's a pretty good track. 1:12.91. That puts me P6. That's on race fuel. So now we're getting places, boys. That definitely wasn't expecting to gain that many places there. Oh, that's no good. Alright, let's start doing some is it a real track? Let's give it a quick Google. Hope race track. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Not a real track as far as I can see. Unless it's so small that it's eclipsed by Assetto Corsa mods. So let's see where we stand at the moment in the live timings. That's P6. We're 1.15 seconds off only. Alright guys, that looks pretty looks Swiss. It does look a bit Swiss. That's actually what I was thinking earlier. It looks a bit yeah, mountainy. Doesn't actually exist, no. Just reading the comments. If Dennis finishes extension. Are you guys doing Sebring in iRacing, I guess, is it? Alright, let's go. I mean, I think we should go low fuel, lads. If we're already P6, let's go low fuel. And what I tend to do then, so let's go for, we'll see what makes sense. Put 6 laps of fuel, 6 liters of fuel into it. So I tend to do yeah, just my fastest lap. If I get into the top 5, I'm usually delighted and happy enough. If I know there's still time on the table, if I know there's still time on the table, then I just keep going for it, and I tend to go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and try to beat my own time. Now, obviously, the lads are going really, really fast. They have another second on me, but I'm feeling relatively confident because low fuel usually separates the men from the boys. Like, that turn in is so much nicer on low fuel. And again, I'm on full aero. I don't know if I need to be, but it does feel relatively good. I need to improve my line through that part of the track. I don't know if staying in 4th is a good idea there. Oh, do not hit that curb, Lawrence. Saying a bit of a 16-year-old drive anything. The amount of 5-litre Mustangs I saw with like kids driving them was ridiculous. A lot of wealth there. I mean, a top of the range Corvette, brand new, is about 60 or 70 grand in dollars. So that'd be like 60,000 euro. You wouldn't get one here for 160. Alright, let's do a lap in anger here, lads. It was good though. I saw very little other than the inside of meeting rooms for the 4 days I was over in Austin. And get this, lads. I know I'm doing a lap in anger, but let's set a personal best while telling a story. I was out on Wednesday night with people from work, and some people from another department were there as well. And one of the guys found out about my sim racing thing from someone else, and he came over to me and he was like, "Oh, what are you doing Saturday?" "Oh, shit. What are you doing Saturday?" I was like, "Oh, I fly back on Thursday." He's like, "That's a pity, because my buddy races GT4 and they're racing at Circuit of the Americas this Saturday, and I've got pit passes. Would you like to come?" I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." Circuit of the Americas was only 20 minutes away from where our offices are, so that was a bit of a sickener. Could have gotten to see a GT4 race. Right, if a shit lap like that is less than a second off my PB, I'm going doing a 111. Has to be done. My Simetik Alpha was shipped today as well, from China. Insert jokes. But be sensitive, lads. That was a poor corner. Can't believe I'm still up on my time. Low fuel rocks. That line. Oh, that's not a good line at all. Yeah, it would have been it would have been great, but you know, the next time I'm over there, I'm going to try and incorporate something like that. I wanted to get home to my family anyway, though, because I did really miss them. It was a long time to be away for those couple of days. Yeah, it could have gone, but like one of my big fears when I was over there was just being stuck there, because I had to fly from Austin to Houston, and then Houston to Heathrow, and Heathrow to Cork, which just sucks. It was like 20 hours traveling yesterday. I do need to sort out my shocks, I think. Just put a little bit more power down. Still suck at that corner. I should definitely see time on the delta here. Turn right at the start finish line into the sea. Alright. Oh, that's a bad line, but it gives me a great run at the straight. That is going to be a PB, but it's a sloppy lap. Let me just finish my last lap. I'm going to quarantine for a few weeks. I actually have to self-quarantine. I have to work from home for 2 weeks, which is going to be tough, seeing as my desk setup was replaced by my sim rig. Oh, it's a poor line. Got a decent exit there. Trying to think of advice to start making YouTube videos. First and foremost, only do the content that you want to do. Don't go making content for other people, because I don't think it works. Just start doing your own videos. Review your own products. People will watch it. That's P5 out of 15. Oh, I'm out of fuel now, but... so you said... right past the start-finish and drive into the sea. So the start-finish is back there. Is it in through the trees, Chris? Oh, you mean here, under the bridge? Let's have a look. Let's see what happens. That looks like the sea. What's going on here then? Thought there was supposed to be some fish or some monster here. Oh, there we go. Hello, fish. What's the crack? Have you subscribed to my channel? Alright. Let's go set a top 5 time. Let's see how far off am I. Right. 112. I'm close to Roberto. Where am I losing time? Sector 1. Every single sector. Actually, Brad's sector 2 is pretty... but he's running low aero. So, yeah, I probably have lots more advice as well. Billy Goat Boy. Just, yeah, I mean, it all depends. Your lap time was carp. Boom. Fish puns in chat right now. Give me your best fish puns. Surely you can't do worse than having a carp lap time. Get cracking. Get cracking. Cracking. Anybody? Try and make this Formula Agile live up to its name. Really need to do better in that corner. Cold tires. Why would someone do that? That's hilarious. They do it to make my stream more interesting. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you guys see that? I just completely almost lost it. Can't do better. You're up, Gamer Muscle. Brian McManus having a pun war with Gamer Muscle. Everybody else is free to join. I mean, I have to drive this car, so I kind of hate that I'm not involved in the pun war. Bram, you're just going to eclipse my time. Oh, you're already ahead of me, aren't you? There's probably room for improvement in my camper settings too. Go, go, gadget, aero. Oh, shouldn't have hit the accelerator there. I'm only 0.15 off my PB. But where am I going to find that extra half a second or 6/10? Park your car in the haddock. So I can take a lot more of that curb. Oh, you prick. That asshole curb. I'm finding time there though, and look at my pressures actually. Maybe that's from sliding around the place. Need to keep an eye on my pressures. Oh, you've no official time. So you've been practicing offline, is that what you're saying? Sandbagging us. You should come online, show us how it's done. Dipping your toes in. Surely there are more fish puns, lads. It was a halibut view. When it comes to bad fish puns, I never miss an opportunity. Oh, I'm here all night. Not with driving like that. Only a 10th off my PB, less than a 10th. Oh, that prick of a curb, lads. Wonder should I switch to second there. You really need to keep it on track. I'm trying to think of fish puns, you see. I actually enjoy pun wars more than sim racing. But I couldn't dedicate a channel to puns. Or could I? There's an idea. Another side gig. Really need to scale it back, lads. I think if I ride these bumps a little bit better, I'll have more control over the car. And I might drop my aero a click. Oh, that's a poor line, you dickhead. That corner is just killing me. Right, what did I say I was going to change in my settings? I was going to drop my aero. So if I drop my rear wing, I should get a little bit more speed. Should I up my bump a little bit? Because I really wanted to I wanted to absorb the bumps, but I wonder, is it after the bump that I'm suffering or before the bump? Or should I start messing with this right now? My anti-roll bar is quite low, which kind of suits these. My height, my wheel rate. Wheel rate is quite low. So I'm just going to leave it alone for now and see if it's actually after the bump, if I need my tires to hit the ground again, or if it's the bump itself that's causing me to go. Because that would be the difference between doing my bump or my rebound. What have I actually changed? Just my aero? Let's see if it makes a difference. It looks like you've set a whale of a time. No, it's only P5. I can do a lot better. Definitely do a lot better. I turned on real head motion. What do you guys think of it? So as I turn, it kind of looks that direction a little bit. Makes it just a little bit less static. I quite like it. It's a nice drive because as you drive naturally, you tend to drop your head into the corner. I'm thinking second gear here maybe. But second gear is very aggressive on acceleration. You can tune a car, but you can't tune a fish. Is this a harpoon turn, is it? Harpoon? Hairpin? No? Anyone? God, no wonder nobody's watching. Fishing for subscribers, I like that one. That should be the video title. And again, if you're still watching GOAT, you'll have plenty of streams or plenty of videos like this where there are very few people watching, but you shouldn't give a shit because the few people who are watching for a reason. That's what someone very wise told me. And if anybody's watching, there's a market out there. And when you get subscribers on social media, it tends to just grow itself to a large extent as long as you keep doing what you want to be doing. So you see my front left is quite hot. It's saying I need -9 in it and I need -8 in my rear left, which is how the hell did I save that? Right, so I need more pressure on my front left. Sorry, less pressure on my front left. Tires. Drop one here, drop one there. Save. And go. Aero so far is pretty okay. Is salmon are offline? I'm hooked. I love it. See, absolute quality punnage. As usual with my streams, the actual chat is better than the content of the stream. So I need to really cut that corner. You can afford to carry lots of speed into it because you can scrub the speed after it. You don't have a long straight, so you have to scrub speed anyway, so you may as well carry a lot of speed into it. Left does feel quite good even on the out lap here. So on the next lap, alright, take it easy Chris. So on the next lap I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try and steal that P4 off Roberto. Feels quite good there, but I should be slightly wider, get a slightly later apex and get on the throttle nice and early, because then I can get a higher speed. Let's see if if I have a higher speed in 254 now with the lower area. 255, 256. Oh, you prick. Must be the higher speed that's throwing me there. Or else the lack of aero is hampering my braking, which could be. That's not a bad line. Stay off that curb. That is a bad line. Supra. It's simple, easy. This is not a Supra. I'm no car expert, but I don't think this is a Supra. So this should actually get... Big slide. Thought it was a Supra there. It's telling me my fronts are all my tires are still 1 psi too high. So again, let's keep an eye on that. Maybe because I'm just driving it harder than I was. Oh, that's a poor line. That's a good line. That's a poor line again. I'm absolutely riding my front tires. Only 0.2. Do I have one? I don't have a Supra. I have a Nissan Silvia S13 and I have a Nissan 180SX. No Supra. I was going to do a 2J conversion on my Silvia at one stage, but then I sold all the parts and put down a deposit on a house because real life was calling. That's only 0.04 off my PB. Surely I can do a lot better than that. Alright, let's brake slightly before the 100 now. Oh man, I'm sucking in that corner. What is it? I wonder, is it just the fact that I've changed my aero there? But it's pushing me too far. It's almost like I've too much aero on the rear still. Now, could just be my wonky camber settings as well. What made you think I have a... stay off the pike of the curb? Only saw that now, Johan. Alright, Billy. Billy Goat Boy. I'll check out your channel and I'll give you an early subscribe. But as with all YouTubers, if you're not enjoying the content, you shouldn't feel obliged to subscribe. You're probably actually doing them a favor if you're not watching not engaging with their content, but you're subscribed. The algorithm, as far as I know, sees that as a bad thing. It's like, why is this person subscribed but they're not actually looking at the content? I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really rely on YouTube to pay any bills, but there's money coming in, which is great. So that means I can buy some products and stuff to review. Got some serious delays with some products because of coronavirus and that. And oh, what the hell? And I was waiting to get some new equipment. So I got a new gimbal. It's around there somewhere. So that should improve the quality of the actual recorded footage. But as a lot of you know, I film my reviews and stuff in the office. There, here comes Bram, gonna blitz my time. I film my reviews in the office, and because I just traveled to America, they actually had a travel restriction in place. Well, they have now. It came in after I traveled, but I have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. How shit is that? Alright, I need to concentrate and do a proper lap. It's simple, easy. What made you think I have a Supra? Slightly better line there. You can see my Delta likes that. So let's do it. Let's go for that PB. Nice early braking and clean lines. Need to lower the pressures in my rear tires. That's good. Damn you, you prick! I was 3/10 up. Alright, at least we know we can do it now. But again, that was because of my lower rear aero settings. And you can see my exit out of there is improving as well. So that's almost a tenth that I found there. So surely we can do better than current PB, which is good enough for P5, good enough for a track guide, but not good enough for my Eagle. 2/10 found there. Poor line. Lost a lot of time there being too cautious. On for a PB though. Oh, Bram just took P4. So I think that puts me in P6. But this should put me in P5 again, hopefully. 112.3. P4 just beat Bram by 5 thousandths of a second. It's game on. But Bram just entered the server and I've been here for how long? So I know the exact corner where I'm losing the time. Alright, we're up on the PB, but not by much. That was a good exit. Another 15 hundredths. P2. Yes! Get in there. Alright. Can we do P1? There we go, better exit. We're on for P1, guys. Oh, we're gonna run out of fuel. Oh, bollocks. Oh, what a dose. Out of fuel. Right, I know I can do it. Let's start messing with the suspension. Get a bit of confidence into the car. So, I think that my rebound is pretty okay. Something's telling me it's actually too high. Let's just drop that rebound a little bit. Just a tiny bit, especially at the front. See how it behaves. I'm no expert on setups, but with I sniff a P1 time here, and I'd love to get it before Bram does. Alright, let's do this. Still using the Hosenfeld Sprint pedals. Quite like them. I don't know if it's just placebo now, but this actually feels quite good. Oh, don't want second gear. Second gear will murder a man. I mean, it's still sketchy as hell when you go onto those bumps. That's a nice exit. Alright. Shite. Chat's very quiet, lads. Who's on chat? Oh, Bram just took my P2. Damn you, Bram. My moment of glory is gone. I like to think it's my camber settings that he that have made him faster. So I'm not locking up or anything like that. So the bumps, I'm actually pretty okay with the bumps, and I quite like whatever has changed in the front now. I know I changed the rebound, I actually dropped it a bit. Seems to be quite nice. Oh, you prick. The smallest bit of oversteer. Drifto! Oh, that's... My camera's going mental. Yeah, nice one, Bram. Very good lap. You can totally beat Brad. And you know, Brad hates being beaten, so I'd love if you beat him. Hope you're watching, Brad. Brad doesn't watch my streams, I don't think. So we can say whatever we like. Alright, let's do this. So that's interesting, my pressures are not great, but I did have a little bit of a slide there, so... .255 was my maximum speed. Ah, that's not how you do it. Bollocks. Alright, let's bump. So we want to kind of want to try reducing the bump as well, just by a click. See how that goes. Let's actually put it up there. I was happy with the other change, so let's save that and go back here and drop the front bump, drop the rear bump, diff power, diff coast. Happy enough with all that. Bias, I'm not getting any lockups, so that's all good. ARB nice and low, that's fine for me. The height, and the wheel rate. I have a low wheel rate, which kind of means that you bump quite a bit more, but well, you don't bump more, but tends to be a little bit. You did improve PB, yeah, I improved, but I want to beat your time, Bram. Simples. I only need, you're on 11.88, I'm on 12.15. So let's see if these changes make any difference. It is a bumpy ass track. I don't think you can actually get rid of those bumps completely. Oh man, I still suck at that line. Because you need to get on the power here, because this is flat, flat, flat. It's as good as a straight. Then here again, cut this without having the car too much. I don't know, has the bumping is the have my bumps gotten worse since I dropped the bump? Alright, let's do a lap in anger again. It's not bottoming out or anything like that, so the height seems pretty okay. Paying too much attention to the car in front. Thanks, Stuart. Oh, the understeer is real there. And then a bit of snap oversteer coming out. Look at my tire pressures. I think they might still be wrong. On my fastest lap, I had an amazing exit out of that corner. That's Bram just behind me. He's going to be up my ass in no time for sure. Bram was on the chat there as well. Oh man, I have so much time to gain in that corner. Ah, oh, you prick. Right. Okay. Let's have a look here. I don't think that bump did too much for me. So what I might do is just bump it back up. I think I might just need a little bit more bump in the front. Maybe not in the rear. Let's try that. I know where on the track I'm losing time. sitting in P3 anyway. What's Bram doing? Bram's last lap. Oh, that was only his out lap. We'll keep an eye on Bram's laps as well. Jesus. I don't know if that little bit of oversteer was introduced by my suspension changes. Entirely possible because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Oh, whoa, whoa, yeah, it is. Interesting. Now I am on my out lap, so let's not be too hasty. Could just be a combination of the new suspension changes and cold tires. Alright, so the next lap is going to be an anger. We're going to try steal that P2 from Bram. So right there my tire pressures seem okay. You can see my tire pressures just above my steering wheel, the 4 green numbers. Poor, lost a little bit of traction there. Not the end of the world though. That needs to be third gear. So close. Whoa. Right, 0.4 off my fastest lap. Let's do it. Ah, you prick. Can do so much better. I reckon I'm losing about 0.2 there. That was too early. Now, third gear. Nice and disciplined. No, lost too much time along the way. Oh, you prick. And that's how I died. Come on, Lawrence. When in doubt, less fuel. Alright. 4 litres of fuel, enough for 3.7 laps. Let's do it. It's the only thing I can think of. Suspension changes seem pretty okay. Tire pressures are happy enough. I'm happy enough with my camber as well. And you know what I should do, just for the laugh, is I should use my setup from the last race that I did, just to see. Because if that's actually faster, then this was all a waste of time. But it's unlikely, because every track is so different. Oh, you dickhead. Cold tires. Rears are hot anyway now. And butchered. Third gear corner. Looking forward to this race though. I mean, if I've top 3 pace at this stage, usually means that, you know, we're definitely good for a top 10 finish. As long as I keep away from disaster. Oh, you dickhead! Oh my god. I am happy enough with the setup. Let's save that setup. And just for shits and giggles, what was our last track? The last track that I did. They did Thruxton last week. I did Pannonia Ring. Let's have a look for my Pannonia setup. Load. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's my full fuel setup. Let's drop the fuel. I swear, if I'm faster with this setup than the one I just created. So close. The margins are so fine. Man, am I glad to be back racing. More than a week without racing. So this setup does feel quite different. This is my Pannonia Ring setup now. Oh, the understeer. It's quite stable on exit there though. I kind of pinned it, which might be good for the race. So much understeer. Gonna have to compensate for that. So currently sitting P3. Anyone who's just joined. But I kind of want to, I know there's more time on the table. I know there's more room for improvement with the setup. Oh man. How am I still only 2/10 off my PB? After a lockup like that. No. Oh, it's not liking it there. Hey Audie, what's the crack? Second time PC shuts off. I was wondering where you went, Bram. I'm going back to my what's this called? Hope Racetrack. Load. Alright. What can I change to be faster? My aero, I don't think I want to go any lower with that. Might still be room for improvement in the camber. Anti-roll bar is pretty okay. I think I just need to nail that line, which is the hard part. Hey Bram. What's the crack with you, Audie? What are you up to tonight? How come you're not out drinking with mates or whatever people with a life do? So really, I like the turn-in, especially having driven the other setup just there. I just need to nail those lines, and I need to nail this corner too. I wonder am I better off not changing to fourth there. I'm going to try that next lap. Okay, tire pressures look okay. Lap and anger coming up. Haha, take it easy, Johan. Cheers, dude. So stayed in third. Close to my PB, but and there was a definite mistake there, so need another attempt at that. .15 off my PB, .14 off my PB. I have one lap of fuel left. Let's do this. There we go, that was a good line. There we go, new PB incoming. Have I beaten Bram though? Too slow to do the maths. P3 still. Damn it. 11.9. He's 11.88. Damn it. Tequila and testing Automobilista. Oh, nice. I haven't seen much of the beta yet. So that's pretty good. P3. That was a good lap. I still think I can do better. Maybe I should just cut my losses and be happy. And do just a few more laps on that setup. Yeah, let's go for it. And then I'll put together the actual, yeah, Bram, super close. And then if you guys are interested, I mean, say in the chat, I'll show you how I actually do, how I do put together the track guide, how I edit together, and I'll actually stream the whole thing if you want. I need to make it bite better there. I think staying in third might be the... Whoa! That's not good for my car. Sorry, Stuart. Tried to get out of the way. Alright, back to pits. Let's go. Whew. I can do P2. I'm only 0.02 seconds off Bram. 0.02 seconds. And how close is he to Brad, actually? Because, I mean, if I'm close to Brad as well... Oh, I'm 0.1 seconds off P1. Surely it's doable, lads. Surely, surely, surely. 0.1. I only need 0.1 of a second. I would love to get P1, lads. Such a crappy corner. I think if I can get on the gas slightly earlier there, that's where my main time is. Here as well. This corner, I tend to coast through it a bit. But if I can, it's too bumpy to keep it pinned there. Or maybe that's where my rebound and all that. If I was a suspension whiz, maybe that's where I could gain the time. Because I just can't put the power down back there. Yeah, Bram, I don't know if it's the last corner. Because I come in hot, then I brake here, and it actually sends me past your natural apex, but it allows me to do a nice late apex here and get on the gas as far away from the end of the straight as possible. So let's go and try and beat Bram's time. I mean, if I lower my aero, I think that's actually still my best shout. Oh, you prick. I have one more attempt at a lap, then I'm going to lower my aero. I'm going to lower the front and the rear. See if I can just make up that 0.1 of a second with acceleration. So you can see I took a very narrow line there, and my delta doesn't like it. I'm losing time already. So it'll probably be negative here. Yeah, plus 0.2. And considering I need plus 0.1. Oh, you dickhead. That late? I don't know. Seems to actually be quicker if I arrive in late there. No, it's poor, poor, poor. Cooking my tires. Right. Go gadget aero. I'm gonna drop both the front and the rear. And hope for the best. Wish me luck. One like equals one prayer. Who's coming up the straight behind me? Stuart. See if I can get out before Stuart. Hopefully this isn't going to be too loose now. I could feel the back letting loose there. I'm going to blame that on cold tires for now. I would never approach it like this in real life, because my life is at stake with a setup like this. Oh, this setup likes to dance. Let's get the tires nice and settled. Damn, poor exit. Concentrating on that aero too much. But it goes to show I wouldn't use this setup in a race, but I really want that P1 spot. Yeah, coming out of that corner, it's just a little bit loose. That's a good line. Oh, Bram just set a server best. Oh, the bumps. I think it's just a case of avoiding those bumps. Damn it. I'm pretty sure I can be quick. Because see, I can, that 10th that I was looking for, I can pretty much gain on the straight here. So if I just keep it together for the rest of it, there's Bram's car. Yeah, nice one, Bram. Good work getting Bride. Although that's like waving a flag in front of him. It seems like even when I mess up in that corner, I'm up in my delta. So it shows how bad my actual line is. I can't go over the bumps here. I think you need to stay really, really tight. Damn it. Oh, nearly out of fuel. Alright, composure, Lawrence. $11.9. Still only 16 hundredths. That's all I need. 16 hundredths. Doesn't sound like a lot. Anybody watching have any suggestions for how I take turn 1? Because what I tend to do is drift out wide here to the 100, brake hard, third gear, and then catch this apex. But I wonder, should I be even more disciplined? I'm going to try a different line for turn 1. Definitely think I'm losing time there. Oh. Bram left the server. Jack Pike left the server. I think I need to stay in nice and tight there, because when you stay in tight you get good get really good traction coming out of it. Right. Anger mode. Grr. Let's do this. I am going to try my different line in turn 1 though. I'm going to stay slightly wider. No, it didn't make much of a difference. Oh lads, those bumps send you all over the place. I don't know if I have it in me, Bram. Alright. It's only 2/10, right? Well, not really. Ah, oh, you prick! Try to avoid that bump. That's why I have the line that I have, to try and get rid of that bump, but this is where it gets pig-headed. This is where the stream gets very boring, because I just want to beat that time. So I don't expect you all to stick around. Feel free to stick around, but so I'm currently sitting P3. I'm just being a stubborn gobshite, trying to oh, that's a poor line, and that already messes up my next lap. Alright, maybe I should go back to basics here, lads. Go back to my original aero setup. My camber I'm happy enough with. Now that said, let's just run it again, because I've changed some other suspension stuff. Let's make sure that my camber is still alright. So for those of you who weren't here earlier, Camber Extravaganza shows you where you're putting down the grip and where you're not. So ideally in a corner you want all 4 tires to be green. Now I never pay too much attention to it until my tires are a little bit warmed up. Just said hi to him. He wants a setup. Can I send my setup? No, can't send setup. Oh, you prick. Oh, there's runoff there, but I don't think it helps. My front right's not gripping in that corner at all, so I just need to keep an eye on my front inside. Sorry, my front outside. was a poor exit. Wonder what the story is there. I'll try a kamikaze setup. I don't know, I think mine is already quite kamikaze. So I don't mind the kamikaze setup, but I want something that I can race with. And generally I can't race with a kamikaze setup. Clue is in the name. .2 off my PB. It's not good enough though. .2 off my PB. I don't know. Am I happy with my camera settings? Found a 10th. Now let's just make it stick. Oh, lost a 10th there in the last corner. What a dose. Beating my PB, but... Oh, 111.87. It would have beaten Bram's previous one. Maybe I should just cut my losses. Fairly pig-headed though. I need a 10th. How far off Brad am I? 400s, I think. What's he? Oh no, 700s. So I need a good 10th to beat Brad. How many laps have I done? 49 laps. This is where my my mediocrity as a driver is a little bit counteracted by practice. And, you know, I don't always get the time to practice. But at least you guys can kind of get an indication of how much effort goes into the track guides. I know it's race prep as well. I try to combine the two. People often ask me to do like iRacing track guides. And I just couldn't spare the time. If I had this much spare time to do something extra, I'd either make more videos or do more practice. Whoa. Don't know where that understeer came from. Give me a good run at the straight though. Let's go set a PB. Yeah, this setup is bad, Bram. I'll be sharing it anyway with the track guide. How did I lose 4/10 there? Like, Jesus Christ. Just being too cautious, I think. Oh. Come on. Let's do this. So I'm setting 112s now. If I can get on tomorrow night, I'll do a race stint. Poor. Lost a 10th there. Need to really nail that. Got a half decent exit there. Use all the track. Poor exit though. Right. Last lap of fuel. No. How is that so quick when I overshoot that? No. Right. I'm going to try one or two more things and then I am definitely going to cut my losses. So, happy enough with my camber. Not happy with my dampers, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my suspension rate by a couple of clicks. My anti-roll bar is pretty okay low, but let's just see how it affects it now. I don't want to change too many things at a time, so I might just leave my bump and stuff as it is. Let's see if this is any quicker. As you can tell, I'm kind of stabbing in the dark at times. That seemed relatively pointy there. Too early to tell though. No, I think that's just making me a little less stable again. I wonder if I'm better off staying in 5th there. Interesting. I know I switched up to 6th there usually. Oh. Nah, acres of understeer. Let's try something else. So let's just reset all that. Load, and let's go to my good old dampers. So let's try rebound. Let's leave that rebound there. Let's see how this goes now. 3500 across the board. Just want to see how it rides the bumps. And if it can introduce any bit of stability. Let Jack Pike by. Woohoo. I'm on cold tires, so not much happening. Right now, this is still my outlap. Should just stay in third there. Might just leave a bit of space to Jack or player, whoever that is. Got a good 14 seconds to him there now. What wheelbase am I using? I'm using the TSPC Racer at the moment because my Simetik Alpha is on the way from China. They shipped it today. So it's only a TSPC Racer, but I really love the TSPC Racer. It's one of those really good wheelbases, I think, with the right settings. This isn't too bad, you know. 0.2 off my PB. Stay in fifth, see what happens. Staying in fifth got me half a tenth there. What do you use, Phelp? What wheelbase do you use? Damn it. Damn. Alright, none of that stuff is working for me. So let's just stick to the original. Load and do one more tank of fuel. I'm going to do my track guide after this. CSW 2.5, great wheelbase as well. More powerful than a TSPC Racer. I've never actually owned a CSW 2.5 though. So never really had the chance to tweak it the way that I've tweaked the TSPC Racer. I love the open rim. That's the one that I'm using now. The Thrustmaster open rim. It's a great base rim. But hopefully in the coming weeks I'll be using the Simetik Alpha with the Cube Controls CSX2. Just getting some heat into my tires. So I still need a tenth. I need over a tenth to beat Brad. I mean, this is a good practice, but So I think staying in 5th there is the right thing to do. Am I still on the higher aero setting, I wonder? Because I didn't mind that lower aero setting. Oh, it seems fairly similar because my delta is not complaining too much. Lost 2/10 though. How am I losing half a second there? Maybe I should just reset my delta or ignore it. Paying too much attention to it. Okay, this is my final lap. Let's make it a good one. Man, when I see my delta behave like that, makes me just want to do more laps. Damn it, lost time on the exit there again. Alright, Bram, take it easy, dude. Oh, within a 10th. Whoa. I should totally do another. Fuck. I'm gonna drop my tire pressure slightly. I'm gonna drop them all. I'm gonna lower my... Oh, my fuel is already low. Let's do this. Has less strength. Yeah, it has. I find that it has more detail. Oh, the Simetik is a lot better. It's impossible. Even I think even a terrible direct drive would be better, but the Simetik is a good direct drive, and it's so much better than the TSPC Racer. You just get amazing clarity. Oh, you prick. Not paying attention. So one thing I haven't tried, just for shits and giggles. People always advise you not to do this, but sometimes it works. Just going to raise the car slightly. So I've raised the front 1 and the rear 2 to try and get a little bit of, what do they call it? Rake. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, I prefer the Simetik. The rims on the Simetik, the quick release, the power of the Simetik. The M10 is great, so I can't wait to get the Alpha, because the Alpha is even more powerful, and it's not a stepper motor, so it should be even smoother as well. I'm back to the lake. See you later, Jack Pike. Whoa! That's because of my suspension for sure. Said see ya to him. What time have we? 1 o'clock. Damn it. Told my wife I wouldn't be too long. I wonder if staying out wide there makes a difference. Staying out really wide. Might try that on a lap as well. After I see if this suspension height change is a terrible idea. Which it could well be. Oh, it's made me way slower. That's interesting. Alright, if it's making me that much slower, will lowering it make me faster? It was at 5. Let's go to 3. 3. Is that going to make me faster? Raising it made me a lot slower. I could see coming up the straight that I was nowhere near as fast. I was losing loads of time. Probably because of the rake that I introduced. Maybe it was just because they were... because the rear was higher than the front. I'm going to put that down to cold tires. Ooh, it is understeery, alright. More understeery. Oh, more understeery than usual. Oh, Jordan, I didn't even see your message, man. Yeah, it's an easy track to drive. It's just a hard one to drive quickly. I am in P3 and I'm less than 1.5 tenths off P1. But it's finding that. Look at that, I'm way quicker with a lower car. That's very interesting. Now that I've lowered this as well, I should revisit my camber. Looks like I'm reconnected. Sorry about the stream drop if there was one there, guys. Let's open up Camber Extravaganza. Massive ping. What's that about? Damien McMullen is on. Damien McMullen is like my #1 donator. As you can see at the bottom of your screen. He just started a donation war against himself the other night. So you can actually see as I go through those corners, my camber is, if you look at my front right, the tire is going right, or sorry, going red, which means I need more negative camber. That's just as a result of having lowered the car. I think it might have been a good move, to be honest. Plenty of tentacles. Wah, wah, wah. Alright, let's do this. So it seems to be giving me time there. Why can't I take that corner like that every time? Whoa, 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 moment. That's how I died. Right. A little bit more. Negative. And the back was staying a bit blue. So I might just drop that another one. Let's see how this behaves. Just frustrating myself now. I need 13 hundredths to get P1. And I've probably spent the last hour trying to get that. You need to almost slide it through there. Not through that part. Damien, you absolute legend. Thanks for the donation, dude. You're way too kind. I love the little Carlton dance. Alright, that's giving me some motivation there, Damien. Let's do this. Happy enough with my camber, so I'm just going to turn off camber extravaganza. Save those frames per second. That's close to my PB, lads. Lost a tenth in the last corner. Look how close to my PB that is. 0.05 off my PB. Let's go again. Poor. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna drop my rear arrow just another little bit. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna try. So my rear arrow was at 9. Sorry, I'm just going to save that setup. And then I'm going to drop this to 11, 7. Let's see how this goes. What track? This is Hope. Hope Racetrack. It's actually really good track. It's a makey-uppy track. I'd love to drift it. If someone donates more than £2 within the next 2 laps, I'll grab a drift car and drift this track. But I want to get P1 as well. You know, this isn't too loose either. It's not a bad setup, to be honest. It's got similar turn in to what I had before. Let's see how much faster it actually makes me though. Wow, a 10th here already. Let's see if I can actually make it stick through the corners. I think we're on for a PB, lads. Oh man. Took 0.03 off it, I think. We can do better. Alright, that's not bad. Bit wide. Good run onto the straight. Is it enough for P2 though? P2! Yes! Oh, 0.01 off Bram. We have to keep going. We have to keep going. 0.01 off Bram. This is my new setup, lads. Back to pits. I'm saving the shit out of this. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Sketchy. Reverse through the corner. Ride the bumps. It's fine. It's not my car. Don't give a shit. Look at that. On the right hand side. Bram 0.74 and 0.75. Alright, here we go. Whew. Can we do it? Words of encouragement in the chat, please. I need 0.01 of a second. Like... Oh, donation! I'll look in a minute.
We were about to roast some marshmallows.
Roast some marshmallows on what? Oh, bollocks. We're about to roast some marshmallows. Are you telling me to get into a drift car? Is that what you're saying? .09. What's 0.01 second that I need? 2 is drift. Alright. Let me beat this time. Damn it. Damn. Right, last tank of fuel. And then I'm going to drift the shit out of this track. What should I drift it in? I don't think I'll have time to set up a server and all that. Yeah, 0.0009. Yeah, I have to beat him, like. That's not the line. Altezza. I probably have an Altezza somewhere. Kind of Buckfast or Bottle of Buckfast. Alright, get some good heat into these tires. Alright, Brian, you're calling the shots, seeing as you donated £2. I'm gonna drift this track in an Altezza after this. Oh, I had a bit of a wobble on the curb there. Damn it. I'm overdriving the car now. Right. Drift in the lake. I'm sure I'll end up in the lake if I try to drift an Altezza. It'll be like a 2J Altezza or something though. I think I have one of those. So we're saying the next lap is an anger, but that does mean if the next lap is my last, it does mean that I concede that Bram is a faster driver than I am. Which I know he is, but getting the actual stats on paper would be pretty cool. On that bump coming onto the straight, you do lose a little bit of grip. There we go, a tenth up nearly.